Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam this morning, Canto 3, entitled as The Status Quo, chapter number 27, entitled as Understanding Material Nature. And today we're going to read out from text number 25. Do you have access? Yata hai apriti buddhasya prasvapo bhava anartha bhrit sa eva pratibhudhasya navai mohaya kalpate yata hi apratibhudhasya bahavo anartha bhrita sa eva pratibhudhasya navai mohaya kalpate yata he apratibhudhasya prasvapo bhavanarthabhri sa eva pratibhudhasya navai mohaya kalpate. Please, those who have access, they can read. Yata he prapratibhudasya prasvapo bhavanarthabhre sa eva pratibhudasya save mohaya kalpave. Word to word meaning: yatha, as, he, indeed, apratibhudhasya, of one who is sleeping, prasvapaha, the dream, bahuvanarthabhret, bearing many auspiciousness, things, saha eva, that very dream, pratibhudhasya, of one who is awake, na, not, vai, certainly, mohaya, for bewildering, kalpate, is capable. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ji ki jai. Translation: in the dreaming state, one's consciousness is almost covered, and one sees many inauspicious things. But when he is awakened and fully conscious, such inauspiciousness things cannot bewilder him. Purport: in the condition of dreaming, when one's consciousness is almost covered, one may see many unfavorable things which cause disturbance or anxiety. But upon awakening, although he remembers what happened in the dream, he is not disturbed. Similarly, Hare Krishna, can you please tell them their speaking is too loud? Similarly, the position of self-realization or understanding of one's real relationship with the Supreme Lord makes one complete satisfied, and the three modes of material nature, which are the cause of all disturbances, cannot affect him. In contaminated consciousness, one sees everything to be for his own enjoyment, but in pure consciousness, or Krishna consciousness, he sees that everything exists for the enjoyment of the supreme enjoyer. That is the difference between the dream state and wakefulness. The state of contaminated consciousness is compared to dream consciousness. Krishna consciousness is compared to the awakened stage of life. Actually, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, the only absolute enjoyer is Krishna, one who can understand that Krishna is the proprietor of all the three worlds and that he is the friend of everyone, is peaceful and independent. As long as conditioned soul does not have this knowledge, he wants to be the enjoyer of everything. He wants to become a humanitarian or philanthropist and open hospitals and schools for his fellow human beings. This is all illusion, for one cannot benefit anyone by such material activities. If one wishes to benefit his fellow brother, he must awaken his dormant Krishna consciousness. The Krishna consciousness position is that of Pratibuddha, which means pure consciousness. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakeya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपिशा गोपिका कांता श्री राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णापृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पश्चाते देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा शिवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते कदम स्वामी के नामने Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we are still in the pastime of Lord Kapila and his mother Devahuti, and the chapter itself speaks a lot where it says understanding the material nature. That even though Lord Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, Devi he Esha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratya Mam Evaye Prapadyante Mayam Etam Tarantite. Means this material energy, it's my divine. It belongs to me. It is my divine energy. But for them, those who doesn't follow my path, for them she acts like a policeman. She acts like a person who is ready to punish the culprit. And but the person who surrendered into me and the person who follows my path, for them mayam etam taranti there, then I give the protection to that person. Then she doesn't harass at all. So here in this particular text, the analogy is given about the person who is sleeping and who is seeing something in the dream, like many of us, um, when we do many things in the whole day, when we are about to sleep or when we are sleeping, and when we are seeing some kind of a dream, and in many dreams we see so many weird things. Somebody is attacking on us, some lion is there, okay, some snake is there going to bite us, or we are going to fall from the cliff, or we are going to meet with an accident. So many things we just watch it, and we are so fearful in our heart. But as soon as when we wake up from that bad dreams, we think, hey, nothing has happened to me. I'm still the same person. So what has happened? What makes me so anxious? What makes me so distressed and unhappy? That was my uncontaminated position that I was in my dream life. Okay, but when the person is awakeful, he can see the reality. There is no such lion, there is no such snake, and I'm still on my bed. I'm not in the cliff anywhere. In a similar way, Srila Prabhupada, he gives the analogy of saying this Krishna consciousness life is a life of when a person is awakening. Okay, when we are so fearful, when we don't have Krishna consciousness life, then we have so many anxiety to go through. What will happen to my future, what will happen to my family when I leave this world, and what will happen for the financial situation. So many anxieties, so many stress are there. But when a person comes into the consciousness that, hey, I myself is temporarily, this material nature itself is temporarily. So, what and why am I looking for a permanent life into this material world? Because this house is not permanent. Even myself, I see my body is not permanent. I'm changing every single second, every single lamha. I am changing myself, but I don't see it. I used to be a boy. I used to be a child, and then I became a man. I'm going to be like my father. Then I'm going to be like my grandfather. And I'm going to leave this body. If the things around me, because the nature of the material world is temporarily, and along with temporarily is very flickering, it can change anytime. So when these things are around us, when they are temporarily, so where is the question? I'm looking for a permanent happiness in my life. you know the mostly people, they find hard to understand what the spirituality means. Spirituality, it has combined with two words, spirit and ritual. Okay, spirit means soul, and ritual means some action. So you perform some action, use some duty which benefit the soul. That's called spirituality. But so many people, out of ignorance or some hodgepodge in the market, we do any kind of thing which we name it or tag it as a spirituality. No, this is not. Example is here. Srila Prabhupada gives that so many people on the name of spirituality, they are doing many so-called philanthropic work. They are opening so many hospitals, they are opening so many charity organization, distributing food, distributing clothing, and many other things. Okay, but it will not help us at the end of their life or in the same time. Of course, it's called one kind of a pious activity, which in your next life it will help you to become more rich, more healthy, more wealthy, more famous. But that will not solve the problem of your existence, which is birth, death, disease, and old age. It will not help you at all. Okay, like many people, they compare all this activity, giving donation to some poor people, as an act of spirituality. It doesn't have to do anything with the spirituality, because you are doing everything on the bodily platform. You are not giving the person the right thing which will help him as a spirit soul. Okay, let's take an example. When we go to New York City, there's so many people are there, they're homeless. Okay, out of some generous heart, some people buy some food. Okay, maybe they can buy some drinks also, some pizza, burger, some kind of food. They give it to them. So do you think they have done an act of spirituality? Not at all. It is just an act of kindness. It is just a donation. You just help the person. But is you really help him? No. What you have done, you have temporarily postponed his suffering from morning to afternoon, because he's going to be hungry after 4, 5, 6 hours again. And then later on, if you help him again in the afternoon to buy him some lunch, again you are postponing his hunger, which is his problem. That time is going to the dinner. He's again going to be hungry. And the same thing with the clothing. So many people, they gives example, give what your Hare Krishna movements are doing. So many people are homeless. They don't have a cloth, they don't have a shelter and everything. I say, hello, you are talking about on the bodily platform. Our Jadveda Swami Maharaj gave a very nice example to understand this. He says, okay, why this Harvard and Oxford universities are so famous? Why they are not giving any shoes, any food, any clothing, any jackets or anything? Then why they are so famous? Because they are giving much more higher than your food and clothing. Because when they educate you, the person will not become a beggar or homeless. He can stand on his own leg, then he can earn and he can help others. That's why these universities are so highly certified and reputed in the market. Both because they are giving the higher education. you know Of course, this is material education. In a similar way, our Hare Krishna movement is also a university which they are giving you the higher knowledge where you can come out of these bodily problems. There's so many people in the COVID time, they were so wealthy, but they became pauper. What happened to them? Then who's going to help them out? It is all just of your karma. No matter whether you are living in a very rich country or a poor country, if you have to suffer, you will suffer by any means. It cannot protect you. Your karma will always chase you. It's just only when you take the shelter of a Krishna consciousness practice, then only it is possible where you can reduce or you can nullify your whole karma at all. In Bhagavad Gita, we see there are 5 subject matters. Yes? Jiva, Ishvara, Kala, Prakriti, and Karma. Out of these 5, one is temporarily, which is karma. You can nullify it with the bhakti. Brahmaji says, Karmani nirdhati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. Only by devotional service you can cut down all your karma and you can go back to Godhead. But it doesn't work for some people because they have a deep rooted desire in the heart. Even though when they are practicing bhakti real, they still have this deep rooted desire to enjoy this material world. But Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, the last shloka of chapter 5, 29, it says, Bhuktaram yagya tapsam, sarva loko maheshwaram, suhurad sarva bhutanam, gyatva mam shantim rachati. In the same shloka, Srila Prabhupada has translated in this particular purport. He's saying Bhuktaram because we want to be enjoyer of everything. Enjoying mentality is called Purusha mentality. Okay? But there is a deeper explanation in the Vedic scripture what actually Purusha means. Purusha means enjoying mentality. It's not that, Purusha will say, okay, I am a man, so I've been called Purush, and there is a Stri, they've been called, like the lady, they've been called Stri. In externally, yes, we say Purusha this, but actually the Purusha means the enjoying mentality. And this enjoying mentality is deep rooted in the jiva. Whether they can take a form of a woman or whether take a form of a man, they both have this enjoying mentality. Man is hankering to enjoy a woman is hankering to enjoy the man. And they both are hankering to enjoy the world by any means. It could be name, fame, wealth, anything, you just name it. So this enjoying mentality is called Purusha mentality because we are not actually the Purusha. Krishna is the only Purusha. That's why he's been called Purushottama. Among all the Purushas, he is the Uttama, means he is the great, he is the number one male. And we all are Prakriti. We all are his nature. We have been called under marginal potency, Tathashta Shakti. We are a part of energy. Okay? If we are energy, we are Shakti, Krishna has been called Shaktiman. He is the possessor of the Shakti. So the person who possesses, he holds the greatest enjoyment position. That's what he's saying. The person who understands this, that you jiva are not the actual enjoyer. I am the actual enjoyer. The person who knows this. Or second line it says, Sarva Loko Maheshwaram. I am the controller and the in charge of all the lokas. Means in charge of everything. It's just not only one, I'm the in charge of everything. And Suhurad Sarva Bhutanam, and I'm the well-wisher of every living entity. Living entity not just only on this earthly planet as a human being, it's everywhere, insects, trees, reptiles, and other planetary systems. They are, and the person who knows this, Gyatva Mam Shantim Rachati, the person who knows this, he only attains the peace, and we all are looking for peace. So the formula is already there in the Bhagavad Gita and the Vedic scriptures. The formula is, we are not the enjoyer, we are not the controller, and Krishna is the only well-wisher. We cannot be a well-wisher of anybody unless we become a devotee of the Lord. In Shri Upanishad, the first verse itself is very powerful, which helps this same verse, which is Bhuktaram Yagyatapsam. What's that? Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagatam Dagat Tena Tattena Bhunjita Magrada Kasya Swadhanam. Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. Ishavasha, I am the controller. Okay? I am the owner. I am the possessor of everything, whether it's in material world or whether it's in spiritual world. Okay? But the person who understands this, okay, he respects. Then he feels that, okay, my position is not be a controller, my position is a servant. Okay, I tell you, servant, being a servant is one of the enjoyable and the safest place to be. The time you want to become boss, you see how much anxiety you go through. Okay, if we take the example in our day-to-day life, especially if you see in the temple here, okay, if we, as soon as we become in charge of a boss of some certain area, so much anxiety is there because we have to get the job done. But if you are just a servant, Prabhuji, can you bring some boxes from the truck, put it here? Such a easy work, nothing to use anything, just go pick up and drop it, you are happy, boss is happy. But when you have to organize so many things, call here, this there, organize here, make the payment, blah blah blah, so many things, so much stress is there. But one sense, because we are practicing spirituality, okay, and this belongs to Krishna, that spiritual anxiety is better. Prabhupada says if you take spiritual anxiety to spread the Krishna consciousness movement, that anxiety will take you go back to Godhead. Otherwise, material anxiety will again bound you into this material world. That's what today's purport is talking about here. Everybody is going through with this material anxiety. What will happen to me? What will happen to my children? What will happen after 50 years? I'm planning to take a retirement, but there is no question of doing it because the expenses are so high, blood, so many things. Why expenses are so high? Because we have done it, we want it to be high. Otherwise, simple living is such a greatest formula for the householder, so they can save their most of their time working outside. But no, there is always a competition among each other. Why? I am only having a one car. The other Prabhu has got the two car. So I have to compete with it. Then so many furnitures are involved and so many other things are involved. And that's how we expand our expenses. To cover up the expenses, we have to expand our hours, and that's how we become miserable. No, there is a simple formula process given. Just work only that much where you can make your body and soul together and save most of your time to practice spirituality. Otherwise, the amount of time you are spending outside in the material world, they will not help you at the time of your death. Only the amount of time you have spent on spiritual practice, knowing Krishna, chanting his holy name, and helping others, that time will help you at the end of your life. So we need to be smart enough not to sing others people. If by their good karma and without any extra effort, if they are gaining all those opponents, so let them enjoy. Why you are becoming stressed by seeing others' opulence? Be smart here. Because not everybody story life is same. Everybody life, is completely different according to their karma. Somebody got good husband, somebody got bad husband. Somebody got good wife, somebody got bad wife. Somebody got good job, somebody got bad job. Somebody got good country to live, somebody got bad country. It's all upon your own previous karma. So when we are busy to improve our karma, our standard of living in this material world, that's how we are losing our precious time, which time only has to be spent in the service of the Lord. Just some days ago, I just heard a very beautiful statement. It struck me so much. Okay, and it says, keep more than important taking the darshan of the Lord, his service is much more important. His service is very much important rather than taking the darshan of the Lord. But that does not mean that if you get a chance to take the darshan, you don't go it. But if the service has to be done, that has got a first preference. Because here you are taking endeavor to come and see the Lord. But when you do the service, Krishna will come and take the endeavor to see you. Prabhupada gives many times very, very, very much example that, okay, a person is doing so much hard work to come and see the president of the country, how hard it is for him. He has to go to many channels, many level, why you want to see, then he has to send an email or a letter, then he has to express why he wants to see, then he has to meet so many authorities, then it will go to PM if they allow so. But if PM wants to come and see how hard it is for him, he will just send a car, go and get the person I want to see, just within a second. All the boundaries are taken over. In a similar way, when we are engaged in the service of the Lord, then you can see the magic happens. And Srila Prabhupada also writes one more thing in his teaching. He says, by doing service, you gain the jnana. If you want to really know what Krishna is all about him, how his energy works and everything, let's engage in the service. Because in the heart, there's so many impediments are there. So many anarthas are there. They can only be removed when we are totally engaged in the service. Honestly, we are not here to engage to the congregation people. Ki, look how much popular I am, how much donation I'm going to give, how many people I'm making here, Vaishnavas. This is not all about. This is your own simple honesty with the Lord. That will really help you. So we need to be very, very, careful with that. Ki, what is the quality of our devotional service? Am I really doing just to promote myself, or am I really doing that I really need a favor of the Lord? By helping all those things, understanding, it will help us. Last night I just read, this shloka, very, very, very nice, from the CC, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Sanatana Goswami. He says that sadhu sangha, even though there are 64 limbs of bhakti, yeah, he says sadhu sangha, nam kirtan, bhagavat shravan, okay, and mathura vas, and shri murti Shraddhaya Sevana. These 5 limbs. These 5 important limbs are the greatest Shreshtha. Furthermore, Mahaprabhu says कि Shraddha Sadhana Shreshtha e Pancha Anga Krishna Bhakti Janme e Pancha something is there. Means कि these 5 limbs are so powerful that it will help you to grow your Krishna Prema within your heart. Even though it is there, Krishna Prema is not that it will take a birth in our life, it is already there. Okay? Krishna Prema, Nitya Siddha, Kabu Sadhya Nae, Sharvanadi, Shuddhe Chitte, Karile Uday. So Krishna Prema, the love of Godhead, it's already in every living entity's heart. It is just has to be ujagar, it has to be rise, it has to be taken out by how? Hearing process, chanting the process, meditating, doing service. So many other formulas are there. Otherwise, it's not very, very, hard to know. But we need to apply the formula. But when we go home, we change the formula. Here so many times, I have said the people, those who are doing service to Prabhupada, ki Prabhuji, this is the right way to have to do it. But they have bring out some mental speculation. I just asked them, ki, where have you learned it? They say, ki, Prabhuji, I just learned, I don't know, I thought ki, it should be like that. I said, no, it's not, it should be like that. This is Prabhupada Guru Puja, it has to be done. But the person, he offers first to so many other people in his heart, and then he offers to Prabhupada. I said, no, this is not for them, it is for Prabhupada. So there is a formula, there is a technique. If you do in that such way, then you can see the reciprocation, because he is also sitting in his Archa Vigraha Murti. He's just not a stone or just like something statue there. He's right there in his Archa Vigraha form, just right here. Our deities are there. There's a very beautiful pastime when Srila Prabhupada, either in Hyderabad or somewhere, he was installing his own deity. Then he got a Brahmana from South India to come and just do the installation, And this Brahmana, he stopped, he says, no, I'm not going to do that. He says, why? He says, the person is still on the planet, okay, and he's installing his own deity, and there is a great danger to it. He says, what's the danger? He says, I want to go and see the person. Then the person was brought to Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada says, so what's the matter? He says, the matter is, sir, do you know what the Vedic scripture says? When you install your own deity when you are leaving, and when people will come and touch your feet, so you are taking your karma through your deity form, all of them. So it is a great danger to you. Don't you know that? The Prabhupada said, that's why I have appeared on this planet. So I am have appeared, so I can take all your karma, make you free, so you can go back to Godhead. And that person, that Brahman had taken aback, then he understood what is the real position of Srila. He knows everything, why he has appeared on this planet. So do not just deal with him like an ordinary person, just come and just go. No, first come, pay obeisances, meet to Srila Prabhupada, open your heart, ask for his blessings, and then do the service. It is just not like, just like a sitting, some kind of a statue on the side somewhere in the corner, come and go, just make our plate. No, it it is a part of your devotional service. If you see in any other sampradaya, they don't emphasize that much bhakti to the Guru that much Srila Prabhupada has introduced here every day. Because without the blessings of the Guru, you cannot get the blessings of Govinda. If you see other people, they do only Guru Puja once a year, once a month, once a week, or maybe once in a while. No, Guru Puja is so important for that by the blessings of the Guru, you cannot do it. You cannot grow. Because the key to the Godhead, Prabhupada has it. And he passed on those key to his sincere followers. Those who follows, they can only give you the key to go back to Godhead. But that part is not there. That's very, 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 very dangerous in our life. So that's why, opening hospitals, schools, and many other things, charities, this all belong to bodily platform. We don't mind doing it, but that is not our focus. Because as soon as the body is finished, all those things are finished. And in the next birth, you come back again to enjoy your pious activity or your bad activity. In either case, you have to come back. So better to act on a spiritual platform which nullifies both, so you can or we can all go back to Godhead. Okay, I'll stop here and see if anybody has any questions or comments to pass on. Hare Krishna.
I wanted to share my personal experience. Like Srila Prabhupada is like he is there always.
Yeah.
I heard like 10 years back in the class, and then I started praying to Srila Prabhupada. My Prabhuji was not chanting, and he was not allowing me also to come to the temple. And then I was just praying to Srila Prabhupada. And one day I saw a dream. Srila Prabhupada came, and I was like forcing my husband, like just you chant one round at least. But Srila Prabhupada came in the dream and he gave like mala. Still I remember that dream to my husband. And very next day, without saying anything, he started.
Yeah.
And he is means
Yeah.
I strongly believe he is there.
No, he's there,
Always,
Mataji, he's there.
all the time.
Yeah, he's there, he's there.
Without his mercy, we cannot progress at all.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. No, because Lord Krishna made his pure devotees such powerful. Even many times in the scriptures, he says, Ki, my devotees are much more powerful than me. Of course, everything comes from him, but if you completely take the shelter of his devotee, they can do anything. There's a beautiful pastime in Ukraine or somewhere it has happened when spreading Hare Krishna movement was so hard that time. Police were catching everybody, throwing them in the jail, and there is a deprogrammer and psychiatrist is over there just to do the brainwash and everything. And this Mataji, she was quite older, maybe 45, 50 years old in that age. She was caught up, okay? And she was the preacher there, and she's telling her own story. And she was caught by police, and they took her into the, in a very isolated room. They tortured her so much, and many things. And she was continuously chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And she was chanting the Shimarti also, and nothing was working on her, and then this person, they caught a witch, the lady who does the black magic. Okay, they got her, everything was dark, just a small light, and they got this lady, and she was doing all the tantra mantra just to hypnotize the bhakta. And she did her best, okay, and she was constantly praying to the Lord to help us, and she was not being successful in that side. But as soon as she chanted Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamita, suddenly Srila Prabhupada appeared. She could not see, Okay, but the witch, she saw that, and suddenly she was doing her magic and everything. Suddenly, when she saw behind the devotee, Prabhupada is standing there and is chastising with this cane to the lady, get out of here. And this lady, she ran. She left all her bags, she left all her everything over there. She ran away, and the police was stopping her. "Ki, why you need to do this?" I said, "No, I cannot do it. There is an old man, he's chastising me, and I'm fearful of him." And the later on, when she saw the photo, he was there standing. So Prabhupada is always there. He's protecting us until unless we have a complete faith that we are on the path of his order, then there is a protection. But we are only here on our own personal motivation, our own personal agenda, then we will find problem. But when we are go out on the order of our Guru, then whole Guru Parampara, not only just him, whole Guru Parampara is there to save us, to protect us. If you see in the case of Prahlad Maharaj, he went through so many problems by his own father, but he didn't say even a single bad words towards his father. At least we are not going through with all those problems. We have everything very nicely, so where is the question not to progress on the path of bhakti? We have plenty of opportunity. It is our own contamination. It is our own desire to enjoy this world again and again, again and again. It's pulling us back again. So we need to be very, very mindful. We need to follow the instructions of our guru and acharya very, very strictly. He's there still. I have felt it in my life, and many of you also have felt it, Prabhupada presence, just to save you from many calamities, emotional, physical, and sentimental. Many are there. So Prabhupada is there to help us. Okay, anybody else?
Maybe one question.
One question, yeah.
You were mentioning that when you go to like New York, people are begging, right?
Yeah.
Should we help them? Like if it's the right approach, or when?
Are there the right men to hug? They are the only people to hug.
But when you go like as a human, right? When you go on a spiritual path, right? So you try to help as you saw
Only
Krishna.
just by hugging. There are many ways to help them. There's no way to hug them. What's the point to hug them? There are many ways. You give them the book, you give them the holy name, give them the temple card nearby, give them cookies, prasadam. What's the point to touch them? There's no question to touching anybody except if they are a Vaishnava, because people are sinful in their practice. So as soon as you touch them, you also become contaminated or affected by their daily activities. It can damage your consciousness, because we don't know, people are going to bathroom, they're not taking shower, they are just wearing the cloth for many days, they're not washing their mouth, they are smoking weed, haven't washed their hand. Why to touch them? I mean, in general, if you say we should not touch anybody, what to question until they are your friends? I mean, hugging means the person who is very close to you. So this is a hugging. Hugging is not common for everybody. You just go and embrace them. No, no way. It is a very precious action that has been only kept for those people, those who are very dear to us in our life. Otherwise, going and hugging everybody. No, it's not a culture. I mean, how much can you pass on your spirituality to them by hugging? It doesn't make any sense. Spirituality is not that you are transmitting through transmission there. Chords are there. You just connected the chords and transfer. No, it doesn't make any sense. Anything else? Okay, if it's not there, thank you so much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद।